Hey everybody, welcome back. In this video, we're going to be going over a technique to start teaching your dog how to not only follow you, but then how to introduce the leash to your new puppy or to your dog if this is a new concept. It's very simple and we're starting indoors here. So start inside your home, your apartment, your house, wherever you find yourself consistently. So that way you can really work to solidify the skill at your baseline location. The key concepts with this drill is you're going to want your clicker or marker of some kind. I have my treat pouch full of my reward for my puppy, and I have my leash here. So we're going to start showing you how you can shape this behavior off leash first, but then I'm a huge fan of putting the leash on early and often, so that way we can get our new puppy or our dog used to having a leash and collar on and used to receiving input through that communication device. So you see in the video here, we have 4 bottles of this spring water. That's what I had available, where these empty bottles I'm about to recycle. You guys can use cones, you can use jars, purses, whatever you want, or you can just mentally keep track. But the idea of this game is you're going to use these markers that are on the ground here as a suicide drill. If any of you guys have ever done sports or any conditioning practice where you go up to a bottle, you'll go back to your starting point, then you're going to go to the next bottle, come back to your starting point, and that whole time we're going to be trying to teach our dog that if we turn and change direction, they need to follow us. So I'm going to call my puppy over here. They know the treat, they know the clicker, and we're going to start by shaping this behavior a little bit before I put the leash on. Bug, come. First thing I want you to do is reward your dog for paying attention to you. The key for this game, the key for the walk, the key for a lot of more advanced tasks is that they understand that paying attention to me is a good thing. Come. I want you to reward your dog for them changing direction and starting to follow you. So some things to consider when you're starting this drill is that if your puppy hasn't had a lot of practice with the leash on, they may be a little bit overwhelmed by it. They may try to fight against it. They may try to bite at the leash. They may try to just put on the brakes altogether. We want to be consistent with when we apply leash pressure, when we release leash pressure, and then when we mark that with our reward. Okay, so those are kind of the keys for this drill. Is we're obviously working on engagement with our puppy and us, getting them to focus on us when we turn, hey, let's follow mom or dad. But there's also going to be some leash pressure present, maybe for the first time ever for your puppy. So if they're wearing a collar, I recommend a collar of some kind versus a harness for this drill. We're using very minimal amounts of pressure, and I want my dog to learn that directional sensation versus at the young age, the harness is more for pulling. I want to encourage the pulling in that case. So good example, Bug goes out to the end of the leash here. To get her to come back closer to me, I'm going to simply pull on the leash towards me gently, and when she gives into that pressure and comes around, then I'm going to release the pressure will stop, I won't pull her anymore, and then I'll click and reward her. So it'll look like initial pressure on, when she stops. When she starts the movement towards me rather, the pressure stops. So if I'm getting pulled towards the camera right now, you have a leash around my neck, you're pulling me, as soon as I start walking towards you, that pressure goes away because I'm coming towards you. I get clicked, I get marked that I did good. I encourage me to come back faster and faster, and then I get that reward. So as I pull towards me, that pressure goes away because I'm pulling her towards me, and then I click to show her, yep, that was exactly what I wanted to do. Now just remember, your dog may at first pull away from the camera, right? So if you're pulling me towards you, I might pull away from the camera. Just keep that consistent pressure, and then your dog will figure it out. Bug went all the way around me, so if I want her to follow around where she just came, I'm going to pull. Good. and reward her once she follows that pressure. We've done a lot of work to make sure she understands that that leash direction, that leash pressure is communication. It's not a fight at all. So as you start your drill, if we're starting here at this water bottle on the ground, I'm going to start walking. She follows. Good. I turn, pressure, click, and reward. So at the turns, there will inevitably be pressure because your dog is going one direction, then I'm turning the other direction with my body. Turning, leash pressure, goes away. Here's a treat. I'm going to go all the way to this last bottle now. Turning, leash pressure. And now you'll notice that with Bug, there's very little leash pressure. That's the whole point, is as I start to turn, she turns with me, and there's almost no leash pressure involved. Same thing here. So if I turn to the left, she turns with me. She gets a reward for doing so. I turn to my right. Very little leash pressure at all. I'm going to do it so you can see it. I turn to the right. Very little leash pressure. I reward. I mark and reward. Now the next phase I want you to start doing with your dog is giving the verbal command associated with this. Okay, so as we are approaching a turn, I'm going to, no, heel, sit. I'm going to give a verbal cue. I use the command heel with our dogs. You might use follow, heel, let's go, whatever you decide to use as your walking command, just use it consistently, okay? Now for your puppies that are about 6 to 9 weeks of age, no, heel, sit, no, sit. That are about 6 to 9 weeks of age, I am more wanting you to focus on your dog just, no, sit. Your puppy just following with you. I don't care what side they're on. But as you get more advanced and they get better with this game, like I am doing with Bug, I want her to stay on my one specific side. I prefer the left side to begin. I will teach both sides eventually, but I want you to stay consistent with one side at the beginning. So I use heel. I want the dog on my left side. And as I approach a turn, that's when you give the verbal command that we're turning. So how it should sound is heel, then I turn with my body, then leash pressure happens, and then the mark and the reward. Okay, so as I approach, heel, this bottle to turn, heel, turn, leash pressure, reward. Heel. Good. Sit. No, sit. The reason that that's important is because I want your dog to understand that when I hear heel from mom or dad, that something is going to change. That means we're going to change direction, we're going to stop, we may go from a walk to a jog or vice versa, but there will be a change happening, and it's a signal to my dog to check in with us and look at what we're doing with our body and then match it. So that's exactly what we're doing here. So if I start off by saying heel and then start to turn, she knows that, hey, we're going to be turning together. I need to go with dad. Heel. Same thing going back to the right. Heel. Good girl. Good job, baby. Down. No, down. So as you get better with this game, I encourage you to start playing this in different contexts. You can play this all over the inside of your home. You can do it through all the bedrooms, up the stairs if you have them, down the stairs, out the back door, out the front door, and you can start playing this ladder game in your driveway or in the breezeway of your apartment or along the catwalk. You can and should play this game as many places as possible, always bringing with you your treats and your clicker, so that way you can make sure to capitalize on these environments. The idea is this environment may change constantly and get more complex, but the game that we've learned from the beginning inside the living room does not change at all. And the more consistent you can play this, the better your dog will get with the leash and the walk. So good luck. Let me know if you have any questions, and we'll see you in the next one.